There you are. Okay. Yeah. I can see your picture. Oh, now I can see you. Coming. Okay, we're waiting for Holly Clark. I'm Christy, and we're going to talk about the new our iOS summit that's coming in April. And we're really excited. This is the first iOS summit that we've had at Serra Catholic. It's also the first iOS summit that we've had in Orange County. So that's really exciting. And Holly is the lead on it, so she's going to talk to us about um, what we can expect, how it's different from the Google Summit that we had last summer, and all kinds of stuff. So we're just waiting for her to get on. Yes, the dates are April 25th and 26th, and they just extended the early bird registration to April 1st, so that's really great. Hi, Holly. You can't hear?
Now I can.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So are you at home? You've been traveling a lot.
I'm not at home. I'm never at home.
Oh. We're so excited about the iOS Summit.
I'm really excited because of all of our iOS summits that we've been doing. This one we get to have George Couros be there, and of course because it's in sunny Southern California, I'm very, very excited about that. So, and we're excited about the sessions, and I really am loving the iOS Summit because it's different than the GAFE summits, so to speak. It's a little more pedagogically driven, so making that change and leveling up in your classroom. We have a big green screen thing that we do with Do Ink, and so that's really fun. And it just seems to be a lot more about teaching and learning, and I really enjoy that. Not about the tools as much as the teaching and learning.
Well, that's awesome. You know, actually, we've been doing a lot with Do Ink. We just started doing a lot of stuff with the green screen app. We did some stuff with the mission projects, and we did some stuff. Some of our kids read a biography and then dressed up and did their reports that way. So our teachers are going to love that. Oh, I can't wait to tell them.
Are you guys doing anything with Seesaw yet?
No, I just saw that. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I haven't had a chance to use it in the classroom, obviously, but it seems to be a pretty good way to capture learning and share that out with parents, videos and stuff in a safe format, maybe prior to going online with digital portfolios. So people are seeming to really like that. So I'm going to sit down with the Seesaw people, and they're going to and find out more about how that can be part of the digital portfolio process. And all the teachers I know using it are in love with it.
Oh, great. Well, our TK, after I came back from seeing you in San Diego, my TK class is using Easy Blogger Junior.
Oh, yay.
So our little TK kids are blogging.
So is it working out as easily as you would hope?
Yeah, it's really easy. The teacher loves it, and it's so cute. So I'm hoping to get kindergarten on board soon.
So that's where I have to figure out what I think about Seesaw, because Seesaw is not public. It keeps it private, and for some people that's really okay. And even when you put it to a blog, you can keep it private for a while. But then I don't know if the stuff lives in Seesaw and then how you take it with you from grade to grade. I have to work that out and find out from the Seesaw people how that works, because I value kids having some place like a blogger that they can eventually have as their own when they're ready to open it up.
Right. That works, you know, especially here. They can start there, and if they go through 8th grade, and then take it with them when they go to high school. So, um, so can you tell me what kind of sessions you're planning for us?
Well, we're hoping to have a really fun sketchnoting session, and we're going to have an explain everything, pretty much deep dive into explain everything and how you can use that to make thinking visible. We're going to have some leadership sessions that George Curls will run around, like promoting or being a digital leader when you have one-to-one devices. And so I really need to get that out. I haven't talked enough about that he'll have a whole strand of leadership for people, principals and heads of schools and leadership of whatever type.
I need to get that out there too, so more administrators know about that.
I just thought about that today. I'm like, we're not even talking about that. We have George Kuros. Anyway, and we're going to be, Ben, who's coming, does a really fun iPad, the Go-Go gadget or whatever on the iPad, so that's fun. And it's talking about annotating and using the iPad to take really specific notes that are not just text-based. We'll have just a lot of different stuff. We're still deciding who the outside presenters will be, so we're going to be looking for a really a big breadth of different sessions so that we cover everything. But my whole goal is that these iOS summits are all about teaching and learning. I've been to other things, other events where it's a lot about the tool, and I think we need to get past that. It's not really the tool, it's about how can we use it to make thinking visible, to give every student a voice, and to share student work. Because when we share their work, they metacognitively learn from each other, and I think that's important.
I was just talking to our superintendent about that. How can we get past the, they all have the tools in their hands now. We're past how to turn them on, how to do this, now we need to get past that and go more into, blended learning and creating and what we're doing in the classroom. And so I think this is great.
I hope someday, and I don't think everyone's ready for this, but we have this big obsession with writing 5-paragraph essays and writing and writing and writing, and when you think about what writing does, writing is having an organized thought that you organize with details and you sum it up at the end, and that doesn't always have to be textually based. It doesn't have to be somebody writing it out, because if you think of your life, you're doing more of that orally than you are in the written word in your work life. And so I think we need to really let the text-heavy part of school go and say that you can do stuff by speaking. And we know that really good literacy, whether reading or writing, comes from a strong knowledge of oral. And we need to focus in on that oral a little more, and iPads allow us to do that and give us the freedom to do that, where other devices might not be as free with that. And when people can, it's going to take a while, right? But when they can get past that everything has to be on a QWERTY keyboard, and we need some literacy around images. We need literacy around movies, around media, and not it doesn't have to be a 5-paragraph essay. Anyway,
people don't realize I was a film major, so I know that you have to have a good script, but it's not just about. And when you write a script, you're not writing like a 5-paragraph essay, but you have organized thoughts. But you're writing as the way people talk. So you have to be literate and know how people talk in order to write that script. And you have to be able to. It's the same thing. You have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to write the way people talk. It's not the same kind of writing that you would write.
And I understand why we thought that at the beginning, because that's the only way that we could turn stuff in, right? But it's changed.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going to be an author who writes, a biography about somebody.
And I've probably had 2,000 kids come through my classroom in 17 years. I was trying to count them up the other day, and I think I'm at 2,000. I don't know one of them that's an author.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll bet many of them write emails, like that need to be persuasive.
Yeah. So that is one of the things we're struggling with here too, is the writing process on the iPad. And we're trying to work through what's the best process for that. And so that'll be helpful.
And I wonder, and I'm just saying this, I probably shouldn't be saying this on live TV that's being, or not TV, but stuff that's being recorded, but I wonder, does everything have to be done on the iPad? Can we still go analog on some of our writing and then take that analog into like making a video then? There's just so much that we need to maybe let go of.
Mm-hmm.
We
start combination.
Mm-hmm.
Combination. Well, just real quick before we wrap up, this is great. I think we should do this more often. I do. We can have like hangouts with you, with Jenny and Steph, and for the teachers. For those of us who aren't familiar with George and Brad, can you tell us a little bit about them so we can get them excited?
What about Brad?
Well, there might be some teachers who've never heard of him before because they're not on Twitter and stuff like we are. So can you just tell us a little bit about George and
George and Brad, okay. Mm-hmm. So George Couros is a world-renowned speaker who is an inspirational speaker, a great motivational speaker who talks about why we need to change education and how we need to start thinking about the connection because our need to connect is even stronger than our need to eat. And you know this because when a friend says to you and you're hungry, hey, you want to go to the mall? You're like, yeah, I want to go to the mall, and you forget about eating. Right? We know this from Southern California, but so our need to connect is so innate and so strong that we need to kind of, he talks about how we can use that for good in the classroom and allow kids to connect and share and whatever, and he's just really great. I mean, he draws large audiences and gets standing ovations. And Brad Ovanell Carter is also a world-renowned educator who is from Canada. He works at an independent school, and what I love about Brad and what I hope he'll talk about is that Brad has built in Mulgrave in Vancouver. If you could imagine like a learning space that if you could just build and someone said, do you build whatever you want for a learning space? Brad has built that in Vancouver.
Oh.
And it opened last week, and I get to go next week to go see it, but I've seen it through the building process, and it's everything you could hope for, with like little recording studios for kids to go and do a podcast or whatever, to big open areas where everyone's together, but then there's little separate places with little enclaves, like stuff on the wall going, and TV areas where if you're learning about a story, you can go watch the movie of it, or in here you can go read it. Whatever your learning modality is, it's reached there in the school, and I'm honored to get to be able to see this.
Oh, that sounds like we probably shouldn't go there because then we're going to want to remodel the school. Do you have any questions, Beth, before we let her go? Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to broadcast this and show this to all the teachers and to everyone in the diocese and anybody that'll listen to get people to get excited and sign up. Thank you so much.
Be the greatest event. So thanks, and thanks for hosting it. And can't wait to see you in April.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.